might be the stepping stone that launches Lincoln McElravy to another national title next year, and as Dan Gable did in his post-collegiate wrestling, perhaps a world and Olympic championship.
The Dakota Destroyer runs the gamut of emotions, but there is another year for him in '96. Our next match, 167 pounds, Marcus Mollica from Arizona State and Mark Branch from Oklahoma State. Mollica, the #1 seed, and Branch, the #2 seed. And congratulations to Banks of North Carolina, Renner of Oregon State, Hepp of Lehigh, Niram of Iowa, and the rest. They're all Americans.
And what we have here is a battle of national champions. Mollica 2 years ago won. Last year with a knee injury, he finished 5th. And Mark Branch, as a redshirt freshman, came out of nowhere to win the 167-pound title. So we've got two very capable wrestlers out here.
He came in unseeded, had 9 losses last year, and still ended up the winner. 22-6 this year. He's 0-2, though, against Mollica.
Well, Marcus Mollica is tremendous on his feet, and here you see why. Very, very quick, able to capitalize. When Branch went down to his knees, just spun around him. 2-0. 2 minutes and 22 seconds left.
Mollica defeated Branch after a 6-6 tiebreaker in the dual meet.
That was Arizona State's Leroy Smith, the oldest brother with Zeke Jones, a world champion and Olympic medalist from the United States.
And John Smith, Mark Perry, rather, Pat Smith. You never know who's going to be on that Oklahoma State bench. All big names, all well known in wrestling circles.
And that, of course, is John and Pat Smith in the Oklahoma State corner. Pat, the first wrestler in collegiate history to win 4 NCAA titles. John won 2 and Leroy won, all for Oklahoma State. Well, action's died a little bit here. Mollica being very deliberate. And you can see how far Branch has to bend over. And that's what he did last year. He dropped to a knee because his legs are so long that they're inviting targets for good takedown artists, such as Mollica. But he's got some real good hips. He's able to keep them away. And, of course, that long body produces tremendous leverage. John Smith on your left, head coach. Pat Smith sitting down, an assistant coach.
Only one of 5 Oklahoma State wrestlers to win as freshman. Mark Branch won.
Quite a statement, particularly when you're unseated. But none of that matters here. It's Mollica and Branch for the 167-pound title. Branch in orange, Mollica in the Sun Devil maroon purple there in gold.
And Branch was from Newkirk, Oklahoma, 60 miles from Oklahoma State. Grew up with his heroes as Oak State wrestlers. That's all he dreamed about being.
Now, Oklahoma has the most of any program in NCAA history, national titles. They have 30. The Hawkeyes now half of that, 15, and most of those have come within the last 20 years. The new hotbed of collegiate wrestling, Iowa.
Yep.
Action slowed here. Mollica scored right away, but got a lot of time now. It's just 2-1, and we're down to 15 seconds left in the first period. The feeling here, Branch is going to try to exploit the mat wrestling. Branch will be good in the top position.
The end of the first period. Mollica, as expected, on top, but it's very, very close. 2-1. That's our score.
Cox Cable.
67 pounds on top, and Branch ties it with the escape.
You were talking about Branch's high school career. Marcus Mollica was a Ohio high school state champion at Walsh Jesuit, and I last weekend called the Ohio high school state tournament. Walsh Jesuit had the #1 high school team in the nation, and they showed it. They had, I believe, 7 wrestlers or 8 wrestlers in the finals.
He was a 2-time Ohio State champion. You mentioned the success in '93 and then the '94 knee surgery. Did he think he could come back like this in '95?
And
well, he's showing that he could.
Beautiful single leg by Marcus Mollica. An excellent finish. Dumps Branch right to his back on the mat. There was no near fall points, but he goes up now 4-2. And this is pretty much what I expected. Mollica will dominate on his feet. And Mark Branch has not had an opportunity yet on the mat in the top position to go after Mollica.
I know you called Mollica a takedown artist, and Branch is so unorthodox, he's hard to take down. He uses his length and leverage to keep you away or else to trap you.
And last year when he dropped to that knee, people would come in close to him and he'd just lunge forward and get a single leg or a double leg and capitalize on that. But this year, not too many people are coming in too close to him. Mollica in on a double, but he's running out of mat space. Shouldn't waste a lot of energy here. He should just go out of bounds, and they do.
27 seconds left in the period.
Mollica elevates that single, gets him up, and foot sweeps the bouncing leg away from Mark Branch, knocking him to the mat and scoring that 2-point takedown. Great technique and finish. So Metro Wrestling is a chess game, learning how to off-balance your opponent, and when you get a good hold, learning how to finish it. Sort of like getting to the red zone in football and not being able to put it in the end zone. Under 10 seconds, Mollica ahead, 4-3.
We'll be back at the 1995 NCAA Wrestling Championship right after this. The 167-pounders are doing battle. We have not had a sudden death match yet in the national championships, which is surprising.
Well, here in the finals, you mean? Yes.
Yeah.
No overtimes. Everything's been settled in regulation. There've been some great bouts here, too. Mollica's just able to fend them off. Mark Branch has not really had an opportunity to get any real attack going. And that's the only way I think he will, is if Mollica attempts a poor shot. But Branch is so long, it's hard for him to curl up and get under anybody. That length is working against him in terms of attacking Marcus Mollica.
45 seconds left to go in the 167-pound championship. Well, I thought Mollica looked up to see how much time was left.
Now Branch here now, you see how he goes to the knee and he tries to draw you closer, but Mollica keeps his distance. He'll stay away from him, and in fact, he puts the one arm on the ground so that Branch has to fight through that arm to get to Mollica's legs.
Mollica's running out of time. He's only got 18 seconds left to go. A takedown would tie us and send us to sudden death. Otherwise, the #1 seed Mollica, the junior from Arizona State, would win his second NCAA championship.
And he's going to do it here. He's tying up Branch's arm. Branch can't reach if his arms are tied up. And Mollica, a very, very conservative way to approach it, but a smart way. No mistakes, and he gets his second national title.
Leroy Smith and Zeke Jones loved it. 22 years old and 2 times an NCAA champ. Marcus Mollica, the 167-pound champion. We're back in Iowa City with the NCAA Wrestling Championships in just a moment.